Good morning, everyone. My name is Gail, and it is my privilege to be doing the inspirational piece for you this morning. I'll be reading a piece from a book called The Breakthrough Experience by Dr. John F. DeMartini. Have you ever noticed that anything you say, I forgive you for, you keep attracting into your life? And anything you say, I'm sorry for, you keep doing. Why? Because anything you apologize for or forgive, you're judging as not being a part of divine order. And you'll keep experiencing it until you understand how it's exactly that. Anything you feel guilty about, you repeat. And anything you forgive, you keep attracting into your life. Forgiveness is a self-righteous illusion that makes someone bad or wrong and then presumes to judge and pardon. Apology is judging yourself, and both are guaranteed to perpetuate whatever you judge. The only thing that transcends this dynamic is love. People ask me, does that mean that if you run into somebody, you don't have to say you're sorry? Yes, it does. There are far more creative ways of dealing with such things. I bumped into a man in a hurry at a restaurant recently who said apologetically, "Oh, excuse me." But I immediately turned to him and said, "Hi, I'm Dr. DeMartini. We must have been attracted to each other for a reason. What's your name?" And put my hand out to exchange a handshake. I started a conversation, made an interesting acquaintance, and almost enrolled him in my seminar that weekend. Instead of thinking that it was a mistake, feeling guilty, apologizing, and running that whole illusion, why not see it as some kind of synchronicity? There are no mistakes in a divinely ordered universe. Why play into the illusion by apologizing for and forgiving divine order? Go beyond forgiveness, find the order, and be present with whatever happens. Of course, you may be thinking that this isn't proper social etiquette, but neither is buying into or promoting unnecessary fear and guilt, and helping people add to their already overloaded emotional baggage. There are millions, if not billions, of people in the world talking about forgiveness. There exists a hierarchy of emotional responses in life. Fear and guilt are at the bottom of the ladder. Above them are faith, acceptance, and forgiveness. And at the top is the present truth of love, appreciation, and wisdom. Forgiveness is a stage on the path, but once you see that everything serves and there is nothing to forgive, it becomes another myth. The truth requires no forgiveness. In my first book, Count Your Blessings, I said that forgiveness is a self-righteous illusion. When I presented the breakthrough experience to a Pentecostal Christian group and spoke to the ministers afterwards, they questioned me about that statement. At first they argued with me, but once I explained what I meant, they calmed down and agreed. Because caring is speaking in terms of others' values. I said to them, I say that forgiveness is a self-righteous illusion because you're assuming that God isn't present in that experience. Anytime you deny the presence of the divine order of God, the lopsided devil rules your life. If you're truly in Christ consciousness, you don't judge, you simply love. Thine enemy is thyself. Remove the beam from your own eye before you attempt to take the mote from another's. The ministers nodded in agreement and said, in that context, that's a Christian teaching. Then I added, and this means anything. They all thought a moment before saying, that's disturbing, even frightening, but it seems to be true. It's a paradox, isn't it? It means that every time we judge anything and don't see its magnificence, we're denying God. That's hard for some ministers to own because they're caught in their own self-imposed dilemma. They're trying to say, He's in everything but that. God is missing there. But I say, where is God not? The only real meaning of forgiveness to me is, thank you for giving me this experience, whatever it may be. If you can say that, you're no longer fearful or a victim. I call it true transcendent forgiveness. When most people use the term, they mean, I forgive you, but don't ever do it again. And what that really means is, I still have a button on this. I judge you, and I'm righteous enough to put you down and humble you over it. To me, that's incomplete and conditional love. It implies guilt and is but a stepping stone along the way to the truth of love. When everything else has been tried and experienced, then comes love. To kneel down at the side of your bed, just like a little child, and count your blessings is wisdom. When you humble yourself enough to kneel down and give thanks, you become illuminated. I don't mean it in the sense of groveling or feeling small. I mean humbling yourself until you become receptive to the great permeating intelligence that governs this living universe. Even though some deny the existence of divinity and say that life is the result of chance and random thermal motions, subject to entropy and dissolution and without meaning, I say that there's a vastly greater intelligence than the one that declares such a futile message. My message for you to look inside and commune with that intelligence daily. Did you know that if every night at bedtime you say thank you for what you've experienced during the day, that great intelligence would resonate with you and speak clearly through to your heart? If every morning before you get out of bed you stop and think of what you're grateful for, your children, spouse, life, opportunities, that voice will speak to you. Every time you don't listen to the intuition and inspiration of your soul, you break down. And every time you listen to it, you awaken your genius. Thank you.